Hey everyone, it's Stranger Grayson here. Welcome back finally to a horror movie review. It's been a while, I know. Just as explained in the return video, you can watch that. Just had a lot of stuff going on, but hopefully I can come back. It's not going to be daily, but at least pretty much at least once a week. Um, so glad to be back reviewing. And if you can't tell by the title of this video, it is a John Carpenter film. John Carpenter is well known for Halloween and, you know, Christine. However, he is also known for one of the biggest horror films of all time. And one that is a lot of people's favorites. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's definitely up there. And that movie is John Carpenter's The Thing from 1982. This is actually a remake of like a 50s movie called Thing from Another World, but I think it's like pretty loosely based, or it's like a loose remake. It's not like, you can tell that this is from the 50s. No, it's rated R. It's a lot more graphic, a lot more practical effects. I just consider it for its own movie. I guess it could be a remake, but at the same time, I'd see it as its own. Really like the cover here. There's the back. So, yeah, got some pretty good stars in here. The Thing, 1982. What is it about? So, movie opens up with a dog getting chased by these two Norwegian guys in a helicopter. And it definitely seems weird. If you haven't seen this for the first time, it seems really weird on why this would be going on. However, later on in the movie, you understand why, but I'm not going to spoil too much, or try not to spoil too much. And eventually it runs into an Antarctica American research camp. It's like a military base. There's 12 Americans there, all guys. Something you don't see a lot in horror movies. I'm gonna be so for real, where it's only like one gender. I think the only time that's really happened is like Summer Party Massacre or just some other campy movies. But yeah, it's all guys here, and you may recognize a few of these actors. We get introduced to Kurt Russell's character, MacReady. Kurt Russell is an all-time well-known actor. I mean, you'll see him in countless movies. He's been in Marvel movies. He was in Escape from L.A. He's been in a lot. We also get introduced to Childs, who is played by Keith David. You know him from Spawn. He voices and plays Spawn, and Spawn is really iconic, so you understand. I believe he's also in Tales from the Hood 2. I believe, I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure he is. And then, all this is going on. The dog runs into the camp. We get introduced to some more characters. Bennings, Windows, Gary, Fuchs, and, of course, the Norwegians chase after him into the American camp. One of them tries throwing a grenade. It explodes, blows up the chopper, kills one of the Norwegians. Then the other Norwegian guy starts firing at the dog, but hits Bennings in the leg. Of course, Gary busts out a window, kills the other guy in self-defense. So the other Norwegian is dead. I mean, shot right through the head. He's dead. So, of course, everybody's freaking out. They're trying to understand what's going on. They let the dog just roam around. And come to find out, the Norwegian camp is just a few miles away from them. That place is like destroyed. They find this weird creature and some other stuff, like some tapes. They find out that they dug up a UFO, and they start going through all this. They get their Dr. Copper to help Bennings. And then we also get introduced to Blair. He's like a scientist. He's played by Wilford Brimley, which you know him He's in that iconic commercial. Hi, I'm Wilford Brimley, and I have type 2 diabetes. So obviously, you know him. Anyway, the dog starts acting strange. And then once they put him in the kennel, you realize it is not a dog, it's some creature. It attacks the dogs. They eventually torch it. And the practical effects are amazing in this movie, I will say. They torch the dog, or dog dies. They come to find out that this creature is imitating other life forms. And when Blair is doing his research, it imitates them perfectly and comes to find out that one or more of the team, there's like a 75-80% chance that one or more of them could be infected, and they are not human. So this is where the paranoia starts and the shit hits the fan. John Carpenter's The Thing is one of the most psychological and paranormal, like paranoia made horror films. You don't know who's who. Somebody could be a thing, somebody could be human. Of course, they got ways of figuring this out later on. I don't want to spoil, but I will say this. I think Kurt Russell does an amazing job as MacReady. MacReady is one of my all-time favorite horror movie characters. I will say that. And just the way that they go about trying to solve this mystery and trying to figure out who's the thing and who's not, it's really awesome, and I can't recommend it enough. The practical effects in here, the kills, like, it is insane. Some of them happen off screen, but when you do see the practical effects, this is like one of the best ones I've seen. I mean, you get one where this dude's doing CPR and he gets both his arms bitten off by the thing, and like it's crazy. I mean, yeah, some of the best practical effects I've ever seen. The body count, I will say, is pretty decent for not necessarily. I don't think this film was made to have a body count. It's made to be like, can you trust these people? Is it, really the person you're talking to, or is it really them, or is it an imitation? I mean, I really like that aspect. I think, John Carpenter knew what he was reaching out for, knew what kind of audience he was getting. However, I believe when this movie first came out, they got a lot of backlash because this came out, I think, the same time E.T. did. So, of course, film critics at the time were like, oh, it's too gory, it's, the E.T. would never be like this, the yada, yada, yada. So they got a lot of backlash. However, this film has like one of the biggest cult followings now that I've ever seen. And it's pretty insane how you can go from getting backlash when it first came out to like, wow, like amazing. So take that as you wish. I believe Silent Night, Deadly Night kind of had the same kind of thing going on, which I'm pretty sure I talked about. When you get to the ending, there have been so many debates on the ending. I don't want to get into it because I don't want to spoil. And not just the ending, just ways people die or just disappear off screen, or just mysteries in the movie that John Carpenter wants you to guess. Like, it's not like, they answer it. They want you to be thinking about what could have happened, who could have tampered with this, who could have killed that. I mean, this movie definitely does not answer a lot of questions, but that's what I like about it. They want you to think, and they want you to be scared. They want you to be just like the characters in this film, and that's what I love. I think Wilford Brimley did a pretty good job acting crazy, just being freaked out, paranormal. I mean, he's smashing radios, he's tampering with the helicopters so nobody can leave. It's crazy. I mean, I know I've said this countless times, but you'd have to watch the movie to understand what I mean. I really don't want to spoil, because this is one of the movies that, like, I think you need to go in there with a fresh mindset. Don't look up anything. Just go in there, come up with your own answers, and then come back and watch this review and then see, what I talked about. Or just watch other people's theories on what could have happened. There's so many videos out there. It's countless. I mean, you'll have to go look it up. It's crazy. But yes, this movie did definitely spawn a massive cult following, and I think you'll really enjoy it. The ending, like I said, is one of the most talked about. You know, who's human at the end, who's an imitation. Uh, it's crazy. You'll definitely be intrigued by it. So that's pretty much my review on John Carpenter's The Thing. Amazing start to this channel again. I really like that I covered one of the better horror movies to come back with. I think you'll really enjoy it. Kurt Russell does an amazing job. Keith David, Wilford Brimley, you know, just everybody in this movie does an amazing job. I know there's not a lot of people that are as well known in here. I really would like to mention the actors, but it's not on here. And honestly, they don't get talked about as much, which I understand. I mean, Kurt Russell, Keith David, Wilford Brimley, they're like the main three. John Carpenter, of course. I think Dean Cundey, he did Dean Cundey? Dean Cundey. Yeah, he's a director of photography. He's been in a lot of horror movies as well. You'd have to go and look him up, but he's been in a lot. So that's been my review on John Carpenter's The Thing from 1982. Amazing, amazing film. And starting out from here, I'm just going to do on a 5-star basis because I think 10 gets kind of complicated. So I'm just going to go on a 5-star basis. Easily give this a 5 out of 5. It's one of the best horror films that I've reviewed on this channel. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely one you'll enjoy. I really can't find a lot of negatives on this movie. I mean, if you guys have any, let me know in the comments, but I really could not think of a lot of negatives. I just really enjoyed it. So what is everyone's thoughts on John Carpenter's The Thing? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Love to hear your thoughts. There is a 2011 prequel to this. If you want me to cover that, I can. Or if you just want me to finish up the Scream franchise, I'll do that as well and then go cover it. But I really do want to cover the prequel. I don't believe it's as good as this film. And I know there's been a lot of backlash with the CGI. But I'll get into that once I do that review. So thank you all so much for watching. Glad to be back, and I will see you in the next horror movie review. God bless, and have a great day. Bye, everyone.